The professors divided the classes based on test results, magic circles, and family histories. However, they were heavily against commoners entering the Alpha class, and they thought they should be grateful that they could even enter the academy. They openly showed their contempt for the commoners. They believed that the commoners were uneducated and far beneath the nobles. The headmaster demanded their silence, and he announced that Professor Bridget had recommended Desir to be in Alpha class. The students gathered to check which class they were assigned. Desir saw that he was in Beta class, but he wasn't bothered by it at all, and he was more concerned about how Romantica would cope with being assigned to Beta class. While attending the commoners class, Romantica couldn't believe how run down the classroom was. The professor explained that mages were ranked based on circles, with 1 being the lowest and 7 the highest. He also added that it was evaluated during the exams, and to get into the Alpha class, 1 must be at least in Circle 2, so everyone in the Beta class was in Circle 1. And their skills wouldn't be good enough for real shadow worlds. However, Romantica was actually in Circle 2, and she had an idea why she wasn't chosen to be in Alpha class. She also thought that it was bad enough that she was in Beta class, but it was even worse because she was sitting beside Desir. She couldn't understand why he was in Beta class even after winning against a magic knight, but his happy expression continued to piss her off. After passing the test, Desir met Professor Bridget and thanked her. She was happy that Desir grew up to be an excellent mage, and she thought no one imagined he could beat August. However, she apologized that she couldn't place him in Alpha class because of the noble's opposition. Because of the noble's obsession with status, other excellent students like Desir were stuck in the Beta class, but he was determined to use this as a chance to awaken as many talents as he could. Even after the class, Romantica still couldn't believe that she was in Beta class. Another student approached her and asked if she was Romantica Eru. Romantica confirmed this unenthusiastically before asking who he was. He introduced himself as Donetta Hadoon, a new student in Alpha class. He also said that he was looking for party members. Romantica wishes him luck, but Donetta invites her to join Blue Moon with him, the best party at the academy made up of the top students in Alpha class. Romantica thought that it was her chance to get promoted to Alpha class, but she was surprised when Donetta suddenly held her hand, before saying that she had to go out with him in exchange for recommending her to the party. Romantica panicked, before saying that it was the first time they met. However, Donetta confessed how he fell in love with her at first sight during the entrance ceremony. He also declared that she shouldn't be lumped with the filthy commoners, so he would bring her with him to the Alpha class. Romantica asked for time to think about it, but Donetta still gave her an expensive-looking piece of jewelry, saying that it was proof of his sincerity. Although Romantica tried to refuse, he urged her to accept it before leaving. Romantica stared at the jewelry while seriously thinking about Donetta's offer, but Desir suddenly showed up while saying that it wasn't too shabby, so she fell from her chair in shock. After getting up, Romantica asked what he wanted. Desir told her that he had the same proposal, so she misunderstood and immediately rejected him, saying that no one would want to date him. Desir said that it was the party proposal. However, Romantica still rejected him, saying that it was obvious that joining the best party in the academy was the right choice over partying with other Beta class students. Desir thought he didn't have a choice. He knew it was Romantica's biggest mistake, so he gave her a letter while saying that she should read it when no one was around. She thought it was an embarrassing love letter, but he warned her again and added that she needed to get rid of it after reading it for her own sake, so she started to take him seriously. After Desir had left, Romantica checked if no one else was present before opening the letter. However, she immediately crumpled it after reading, and she couldn't believe that Desir knew the reason why she was in Beta class. Desir was wondering if Romantica would cry or be mad after reading the letter, before he saw Pram, the second person he wanted to invite to join his party. Desir remembered that Pram Schneezer was one of the fastest swordsmen from the other timeline, and he was certain that this time, with better training, he would be much stronger. At the same time, Romantica arrived. She looked exhausted from looking for Desir, but she immediately asked how he learned about what was written in the letter. However, Desir asked her to be quiet as the practice was starting. Romantica looked at the practice ground, and she went crazy after seeing how cute Pram was. Because of her reaction, Desir realized that Pram was actually really cute. While Romantica wanted to keep Pram when she saw that he was even cuter when sneezing, Pram carefully checked the training weapons before deciding to use the great sword. Desir was confused, while Romantica even doubted that Pram could wield such a large weapon. Before the match started, Pram respectfully introduced himself to his opponent. However, his opponent said that he didn't need to announce his name for a Beta class, and he urged the referee to start the battle. After the signal to start was given, Pram quickly charged forward, and each swing of his great sword actually pushed back his opponent. Romantica was surprised by his strength, but Desir thought that Pram was just charging blindly and was still confused about why he was using a great sword. Pram's opponent started his counterattack, and he managed to lure Pram into making an opening, causing his defeat. Romantica felt regretful that Pram lost, and they agreed that the great sword didn't work for him. At the same time, Percival started punching Pram. Desir tried to stop Percival, but he didn't listen, so Desir had to charge at the stage while the referee was afraid to interfere. Percival was upset with Desir's interference, and he warned him that he would end up like Pram. However, Desir wasn't threatened at all. He asked Percival if Pram's blow landed too hard on him or if he was jealous that Pram was more talented. Percival was enraged, and he slashed at Desir using the wooden sword. Pram regained his consciousness and witnessed this. Percival was in disbelief that Desir blocked his attack, and he seemed intimidated after seeing Desir's expression. But he told Desir that he would remember his face before walking away. Desir sighed in relief after he left, while Pram stared at him while blushing. Pram worriedly asked if he was alright while treating his injury, but Desir told him that he used his magic to block the strike, so it didn't do much damage. While Romantica thought that he was really reckless, just like in the entrance exam. Pram apologized after treating Desir's injury. Desir told him that he didn't have to blame himself since he decided to get involved, but Pram was almost in tears, still blaming himself for making Desir an enemy of someone in Alpha class. Romantica got excited after seeing how cute Pram was when crying, so Desir had to remind her to restrain herself before telling Pram that he was really alright. Afterwards, Pram introduced himself to Desir, while Romantica kept on butting in on the duo's conversation, trying to get close to Pram. Pram complained when Desir was formally addressing him, but he immediately blushed when Desir casually called him by his first name. Desir was confused seeing him all red, but he thought it was fine as long as he was happy. After thanking Desir, Pram swore that he wouldn't forget his kindness, and he asked Desir to tell him if there was anything he could do for him. After Pram had left, Romantica and Desir went somewhere else to talk about the letter. She was worried that Desir told someone else. He explained that although he didn't tell anyone, the professors were aware of the matter. Desir knew that Romantica was the daughter of a wealthy commoner merchant in Prilicha who bought a title from a noble. Despite her strength, skills, and noble title, the professors still consider her a commoner because of her blood, which is why they placed her in beta class. Afterwards, Desir warned her against joining the Blue Moon Party because of how they treat commoners. Romantica refuted that Donetta would protect her. However, Desir reminded her how Donetta thought of the commoners, and he invited her again to join his party. Romantica thought Desir would blackmail her, so she reminded him that he wouldn't succeed with a party like that. But Desir just told her that he would just need to start the party alone with Pram if she decided to refuse. Romantica imagined how cute Pram would be while following Desir around. She thought it wasn't fair. Although she thought that everything about Desir was sketchy, she still decided to join because of Pram's cuteness. She declared that she would uncover his secrets before complaining about his smile, which really pisses her off. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy this video, and please subscribe so you won't miss the next part. And just comment down any anime you want to see in this channel.